Hello everyone, welcome back to another election prediction video. This time we have Amy Klobuchar, the senator from Minnesota, up against former President Donald Trump. So Klobuchar, she's probably more seen as a more moderate type of Democrat, but not too moderate like Joe Manchin or so. But again, I do think she'll be able to appeal to most aspects of or most coalitions of the Democratic Party. So I do think she could be a bit of a unifying candidate. And she is from the Midwest. That's a huge plus for Democrats. Usually, Midwestern Democrats tend to be a lot more electable than normal. And they do know how to win close elections here. So I do think it'll be a big plus to have Amy Klobuchar as the nominee for the Democrats in 2024. But that would only happen if Biden decided to drop out of the race. Then you could see Klobuchar gearing up for another presidential run. So, starting off with the first few states, I think we're going to start off with Iowa and Ohio. I do think she'll be able to keep Iowa and Ohio within likely Republican margins, but just due to the Republican trends here, they're not going to budge down to lean at all, even though Klobuchar would be a bit of a better candidate. In Nebraska's second, however, I do think she would do quite well in the suburban district. And this district just keeps trending more and more blue over time. They really don't like Trump that much. In Alaska, I could even see this going down to a likely Republican margin. Again, Amy Klobuchar actually did fairly well in the rural areas in Minnesota. So I do think she'd be a decent candidate for more rural types of states. She's a bit more of a moderate Democrat as well. So I think that'll definitely help her in a state like Alaska. In Colorado, I would have this state as a safe blue state. Same with the state of Virginia. While New Mexico, I mean, Amy Klobuchar wouldn't have the best Latino appeal, so I'm going to put this down as a likely blue state. I could see her struggle a bit with that constituency. In the state of Maine, however, I think she'll fairly easily win it. Again, I think she would actually have quite decent rural appeal, even making Maine second a bit more competitive than usual. Not enough to flip it, of course. Trump would still win here by about 4 points or so. In the state of Texas, I really don't think she would have the best southern appeal. Again, I mentioned that with Latino voters. I don't think she would have the best appeal with them either, so I have this state as a likely Republican. And Florida, just due to Republican trends and the voter registration going in favor of them, most Republicans, especially Trump, would be able to easily win Florida against most Democrats. In North Carolina, I also have this state as lean Republican, and in Georgia, I don't think Amy Klobuchar would get enough black turnout to win this state over, even against a more unpopular Donald Trump, and she's a generic Democrat. I think Trump would be able to still narrowly win over this state. In New Hampshire, I think she would do fairly well. It's a more socially liberal state, and Trump's just socially conservative, and it's kind of drifting away from the Republican Party at this point. Minnesota, how can I forget about this one? This is just safe blue. Amy Klobuchar will probably win here by about 11 points or 12 points against Donald Trump. Really don't think Trump would even be competitive at all in the state of Minnesota. She's just beloved here. In Nevada and Arizona, again, she's a generic Democrat, and typically you just run a generic Democrat, you'd probably be able to beat Donald Trump because, again, he's pretty much as unpopular as Joe Biden is. So, again, you run a fresh candidate against Trump with not negative favorables, they would be able to easily win in Nevada and Arizona just due to independent voters going more in favor of the Democrat. And again, like I said before earlier on in this video, a Midwestern Democrat, that's a huge deal. You get pretty much a regional advantage in the Rust Belt here. And they do know how to campaign and win in close states. So again, I just see Michigan as lean blue. Same with Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. Again, should be able to win over Union voters, which are critical in these three states against Donald Trump. She'll probably get better margins among them than Biden would, just due to Biden's age issue, which is definitely dragging him down. His very low approval ratings. Amy Klobuchar wouldn't have that negative baggage. So she would be able to defeat a more unpopular opponent in Donald Trump, do a lot better with Union voters, and a bit better than with populist voters than Biden would in a scenario like this. So other than that, I think Amy Klobuchar probably ends up winning the popular vote by about 3.5 percentage points against Donald Trump. And yeah, I mean, I don't really know how Trump would get a win against her. Maybe a win in Pennsylvania would be enough. Because, again, she is from neighboring Minnesota, so I think she would pretty much have a pretty good chance at winning in the state of Wisconsin. So, yeah, if you aren't subscribed to the channel, highly recommend doing so, especially if you enjoy this type of political content. Other than that, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.